talking to you guys about about going into medicine, trying to find out what you want to do, and find people who inspire you. So I was thinking last night about who's inspired me, and naturally, I would have to say my dad. My mom didn't work outside of home when we were growing up, so the only adult job I knew was my dad. And all I remember, I don't even remember him going to work in the daytime, but I remember him going to work a lot at night. He always had a pager or a beeper. I don't even know if you guys are old enough to know what those are before cell phones. But he used to go into work at night a lot. And I remember he liked his work a lot. He would joke about it. He would tell people that his job is to pass gas or to put people to sleep, but also to bring them back awake, and also that he was a drug dealer. So he would make fun of that a lot. And so I knew he enjoyed his work. He said he got to be the DJ at work. He would play the music in the operating room for the surgeons. And he had a lot of fun. I knew that he was good at what he did and that people trusted him with their lives, basically. When people got hurt, they would come to our house to visit. My friend, I always remember my best friend growing up, cut her chin open, I think, when she fell around the swimming pool. And so she came to our house and my dad helped her fix her. We would make house calls. My dad had a doctor's bag that he would bring. When my mom was ever in the hospital, she made my dad put the IV line into her. When my friend in church had surgery, my dad did her anesthesia too. So I knew my dad was good at what he did and that other people trusted him, and I thought that was really neat. But like my dad said, we used to have Take Your Daughter to Work Day, and that was when I really thought I would go into medicine. You know, growing up, being the oldest kid, being a Chinese kid, everybody wants to be a doctor, or your parents want you to be a doctor. So it was kind of natural, especially since all I knew was my dad being a doctor. Some of my favorite pictures growing up are me wearing my dad's glasses and wearing his shoes and pretending to be my dad. And I actually just now found, I had this t-shirt from a really long time ago. I don't know if you can see it. It's like a doctor's coat. I don't know when I got this, but my dad brought it home when I was little, and I've had it since then. I think I wore it a few times when I was little because I wanted to be a doctor too. But for Take Your Daughter to Work Day, when I was, I think your guys' age, like middle school or even later in elementary school, my dad took me to the operating room, and I thought it was the coolest thing because there was this guy asleep on the table and the surgeon had his big belly opened up. It was so bloody. It was so gross. I saw all this stuff and I thought that was the coolest thing. And then my dad took me to the doctor's lounge afterwards, so we got to eat all the snacks. And I always thought it was fun. So my dad says it's a lot of work to get to medicine, and it is. I did all the right things. I made the good grades, studied hard, worked hard. But I think what got me through it all, aside from the support that my parents gave me and my friends gave me, is it was something that I genuinely was interested in. If you like it, if you think it's cool, if you think it's fun, then it's never going to feel like work. It's always going to be worth it. My siblings and I would always grow up. We would look at my dad's textbooks of like skin diseases, or we would go to museums with weird body parts in it, and we always thought it was the coolest thing. I was never grossed out. I always thought it was really, really neat. And so I've always, around medicine and the weird, gross things about the human body, I've always had a sense of wonder. And so throughout my training, when I went to go visit colleges, which you guys will be doing soon, I remember my dad took me to interview at some colleges to visit some of the campuses, and I didn't realize it at the time, but afterwards my dad told me that I went to visit the college that I actually ended up going to USC. He said my eyes lit up and were glittering, and I think if you genuinely are interested in something, people around you notice. So throughout my life, if I've seen something I'm interested in, I feel like my eyes get really big and other people around me notice. And if you show interest, take interest, find the other people around you who are also interested in the same things, they should be able to take you in and shepherd you and show you the ropes, basically. I went to medical school thinking that I wanted to be a surgeon. My dad wanted me to be an anesthesiologist, but I thought it was really boring, and I did try for a period of time to not go into surgery because I thought it was going to be hard, but I saw a lot of other people do it and have fun and have families and enjoy their lives. And especially for me being a girl, I saw other women who I could model myself after and see that it was doable. And because it was something that I was interested in, you know, people say if you enjoy it, it's never going to be work. So I think that's been really the case for me. I thankfully have had a lot of, I wouldn't call them huge inspirations, but people along the ways, little things that they probably didn't even realize influenced me or impacted me big. People, you want to surround yourself or find people who are hospitable. Like my dad said, if you can find somebody who is willing to let you shadow or just follow them around, it can make such a big difference for me, I felt like such a dumb kid. I was just full of wonder and excitement for medicine. When I was thinking about going into orthopedic surgery, which is what I do, so we work on the bones and the muscles, the joints, fixing people and making them better. I remember I was a medical student, two people, one of the guys who was not much older than me, 4 or 5 years older than me, he was what we call a resident, so he was in his training doing surgery. He let me run around the hospital holding these power tools, so I thought it was really cool. And then I had another doctor actually let me, as a medical student, take the knife and cut on the skin to pull out a metal rod that was in a kid's elbow. So all these little things I thought were really, really just great. And it just made such a big difference, even though for them it was probably nothing. So, you know, I'm not sure how many of you guys are interested in medicine, but if you know anybody in medicine or anybody even somewhat related to that, if you just find those people, if they can see that you're really interested in it, little things that are easy for them to do, I think it will make a huge difference in your pursuit of your dreams.